The bell above my door tinkled, and my hand stilled on the cup of tea at my lips. A silly decision, as my glasses fogged. Still, I could make out the customer through my misty view. He was tall and moved with purpose. Everything about him was neat, his tapered brown hair, dark wash jeans, crisp white button-up, charcoal gray blazer. Everything but the 5 o'clock shadow darkening his lean jaw. My heart pitter-pattered in my chest. Tall, dark, and handsome was my one weakness. I lowered my tea just enough to defog my glasses. I like to study my customers and guess their floral needs. By the way he dressed, I concluded that he was on his way to a date. I took a tiny sip. New flame or an old love? From his profile, the tense set of his jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners, I would wager an apology, perhaps to rekindle a lost spark. I set my tea on the counter and fingered a bruised dogwood I snipped from a stem. Love to overcome adversity indeed. I had a couple branches to spare, a few bunches of rue, too, for regret, and olive greens for peace. Perhaps a few stems of cornflower to rebuild hope in their love. No, cornflowers didn't seem to suit his style. He seemed like a man formed from straight lines and edges, a flower more straightforward and classic. Tulips, then. A confession of love. Wait. I was fresh out of tulips. I had plucked all the ones in my hothouse for an arrangement last week and had yet to receive my out-of-season flower order. Expensive for arrangements this time of year, but people were willing to pay for the novelty of a Victorian-themed florist. The man took in my shop, his gaze bouncing from vases of flowers to shabby chic decor before settling on me. He blinked. I blinked back. I knew those silvery blue eyes. They still haunted my dreams. A corner of his mouth twitched in a slight smile, a forced greeting from one perceived stranger to another. But never mind that. I also knew those lips, plush and finely wrought, pleasantly symmetrical. 20 years ago, I debated over the softness of those lips. Petal soft or fuzzy blanket soft? Yes, I did compare the softness of a boy's lips to my favorite fuzzy blanket. I was 16, and I had wondered what it would feel like to be wrapped up in his kisses. I still wondered. Liam Bradley, the boy from my past, in my boutique de fleurs. The Liam who left me a secret Valentine, never showed to our school dance, and then disappeared in the night. My former best friend, who had shut me out so completely that the echoes of his silence still haunted me after our last and final phone call the morning he left town. I called and left countless voice messages afterward, emailed, texted. He didn't have any social media accounts that I could find. Not that I was a stalker. But we were inseparable for years, and then he was gone. His departure nearly shattered every romantic sensibility I owned, hence Paris. The city of love's sole medicine had thankfully been enough to restore and renew my romanticism. Mostly. Though not enough to dispel my feelings for him. A first love frozen in time as though Snow White in her crystal coffin. But also, the man before me was May Bradley's half-brother, the love child of Liam's father and my mother's sister, an affair that almost tore both our families apart, that did sever his in half. Saints above, he was in my shop. Liam seemed to recognize me the moment I did him, and those beautiful eyes of his widened for the merest heartbeat. Eyes, I should mention, that were lavishly framed by thick lashes. My own lashes were cursing the mascara and eyeliner and every drop of makeup I applied in the vain hope of recreating those lush thickets, the same jealous lashes now fluttering dreamily at him. Were my glasses still fogged? Was I even awake? Rose? His eyebrows knit together in a thoughtful manner and my knees wobbled. Over a man's eyebrows. I needed to get a grip on myself. Or the counter.